my friend. I love playing these songs. Out of the 50 all-time classes, Mr. Thomas Ballinger put a bunch of selections in here and arranged them so we could play them. They stay very close to the key of C major, so we don't stray too far away from the original 7 chords. C major. If we played F and throw our finger down here on the C string second fret, we get a D minor. Ooh, when we go to our E minor, we could play this 3 different ways. We could either play that aforementioned D minor with our pinky, not our first finger, by switching all of our fingers. Same chord, but we moved it, and now move it up and bar. Or we could just put that finger right on the tip top. Down here, that note was open. When we go up, we have to play that chord up. That's an E minor. You also know this E minor, or the secondary finger, which is great. You can also play a G major and make it a G6, which is a E minor as well. Have fun with that. So when we're going through these things, there are a couple different things that you can consider a little bit above just standard 7 chords or just standard notation. What we like to do is influence these fun songs with the basics of these and then make it them our own. So if you like the way that I teach, please give a thumbs up, ask for a type of song, or feel free to comment on these and ask questions. Okay. Song we're doing today is the Orly, of course, page 24. If we start off, we see that there is 1 sharp in the key signature, which means that it has a first sharp, because C has none. C, D, E, F, G. G is the first of all keys to get that first sharp. So remember, it's an F sharp. When we do that, that means that all our F notes right here will become F sharps, unless otherwise notated. But in this book, we're not going to be seeing an F natural being marked after an F, probably. I don't know. So when we start this, we see it's in 4/4, which means our meter isn't, could be, but it means that all the beats are consistent. Meaning, for right here, this is a good measure, or BPM to start in. It's about 50 beats per minute. 40 would be a little slow, and then 80 would be a little fast. So when playing, we'll see the first note is a D note, meaning first finger or second finger down. I prefer to keep it within 4 frets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. This gives me 3 quadrants until I go all the way up my 12 chromatic notes to get that octave. However, if we're playing and we hear that as being part of our scale of a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, my last movement will be the 11th fret right before the 12th. You can do that vertically on any string with a whole step, half step at the 3 to 4. 4, 5, 5, 6, 6 to 7, all whole steps, and then 7 to 8, or 1, the perfect 8th. P8th is a half step. Awesomeness. So when we're going through the construct of seeing these 7 chords, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and then we have our B diminished. We could also play the 3rd fret, then play the, what do I see here? The G at the 4th, and then do bookends on the 5th fret at the C and the E. It gives you what you would see as being an E7, but when we move this up, we're already ready. Shake and bake, it's already there. So when we go through the process of seeing what this is, I'm reading ahead, and really all the chords in here we know. G major is in the key. A minor, that's in the key of C as well. D7, we can either bar it up to make a B minor 7 and then add the 3rd fret for that C note, or you could just play the 2 bookends on the high G closest to the nose and your second finger here on the E string, and then wrap your 3rd finger on for the high C, on or off. That's still a D7 or an F sharp diminished, and we use that in this song. I use both of them, so if you see me play this, that's a B minor 7 with our add-on here. It's going to give us our D7. To be clear, B minor 7, completely different chord. B major, B minor, B minor 7. Okay, the next one, E minor, aforementioned, that's in this song, as well as the chords of the 7, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Our G7 looks like a G major, but we're gonna rock our G note all the way past the F sharp to the F, meaning we're gonna have a G major 7, and then a G dominant 7, or a G7, which we also otherwise call a B diminished, because all chords really have 2 names. The next chord we have is a good old-fashioned C major. The reason why a C minor works in the key of C with these three notes, dropping them down and then playing an open note, is because G is in the key of C. C, D, E, F, G. But if we go up to C sharp, that does not work. Why? Because the G sharp, or the A flat, and the G note, E. It's a diatone. It's a minor second. It smooshes together, therefore it does not work for us. So, basic rhythm through this song. G major, downstrokes on the quarters. A minor. D7's coming up. I just keep my finger on the A minor, throw down my double deuce, hold that out. Sometimes I put the high note in there just for a little gravitas, and then back to the G major. Since my fingers were already lined up there, I stayed with it. I'm going to switch back to the G for the next measure because it feels better to go to my A minor right there. Here comes my D7. Notice how I did both of these measures, same chords in different fingerings. It feels nice. It also reminds me which measure I'm on if I get lost. Again with me with the chords. Here we go. G major, A minor. We're going to anticipate the D7. Here comes a G major. We're only going to hold it out for 3 beats. Rest. G, A minor. D7, anticipate it. Here comes the G for 3 beats. Rest, G major, lay that B minor and add the major 7th. Keep the fingering and you can play a G major with the E for a G6, or you can play an E minor for that movement, and then the G7. The reason why it feels more comfortable to play a note which is closer is there's a lot of jumping around. So maybe try something like G major with the 2nd fingering. Since we're right there, drop this down and throw the 2nd bar with the C on the 3rd fret to give us an E flat or a D sharp for that 7th. Ooh, E minor is right there, so we could play our bar chord, which looks like our D minor. It allows us to get a staccato type feeling, meaning we could cut the notes right off rather than having a note linger legato. We can also see that as being one of the best movements. So here it comes. G major to B7 to E minor back to B diminished or G7, C major to C minor to G major, rest, 3, 4, E7. Throw it on the 1st fret and then give double bookends. That's the same thing as playing a G major without the G note, and you'd be playing a G6 if you were doing that. G major 7, G dominant 7, and then G6 with the open E string. With the G sharp there, however, it's fundamentally changing it to an E7, and we're gonna ride out this A7 right above it. It's an A major, it just does not have the root in there. It drops it past its major 7th and leaves the G, which is the dominant 7th in the key of A. When we move up and play the double bookends at the 2nd fret, we get our D7 again, you guessed it, and then we're gonna hold that out and play a G. If I was going to be playing the melody here, I would have something along the lines of D, G, F sharp, G, A, E, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, 2, 3, rest. D, G, F sharp, G, A, E, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, 2, 3, rest. We're gonna have B notes right here, ready? 2nd fret, 2nd finger, B, B, half note, quarter note, half note. We're gonna play a B, A, G, A, B, 2, 3, rest. B, B, and then, ooh, look, a C, C. And we're gonna go back to the B, A, E, A. Here's an eighth. So what we have on that measure, we've got a quarter, quarter, and a dotted quarter, meaning that dotted quarter is a lot like a dotted half note. If the dotted half note in a measure of 4/4 above in the G went from 1, 2, and then added a beat, it adds half the value in the note. So a quarter note, dotted quarter note would be half the value of that. It's 1 and. Notice how there is generally an eighth note preceding that, and then moving into another note. We would have quarter, A, E, A, 2, and then quick G, 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 F sharp, B, A, G, 2, 3. You could add your own flair too in this. Have fun with this song. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Aloha.